Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to clean, declutter, and reorganize my entire kitchen. So I'm gonna pull everything out of the cabinets. We're going to put in some organization systems. I have researched the home edit book on all of the kitchen organizing and decluttering tips, and I am so excited to finally tackle today's project. So if you've seen in my last video, I actually showed a ton of organizational things that I picked up from Target and Home Goods, and today we're going to put them into place. So if you need some motivation to get a space in your home organized or decluttered, then you are in the right place. Pick one spot or even one drawer and let's get to cleaning together. So far I've organized our master bathroom and closet, a cleaning closet, my pantry that you'll see behind me, and now I am ready to tackle the kitchen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So here's an overview of the kitchen. We did take out these cabinets over here. We had some along this wall. We put up some floating shelves and I love it. And I really thought I would miss having the cabinet space, but I tell you what, getting rid of stuff, you realize that you have way more than you actually need. So earlier last year, I actually went through our kitchen and reorganized everything. And I feel like some of the systems worked, some didn't. So today we're going to take a look in all the drawers, all the cabinets, and see what we need to reorganize. I'll show you guys a few drawers, one being our junk drawer. So you can see I had some good systems in place, like this organizer, and it's not awful, like it used to be a lot worse, unfortunately, but you can tell like I've got some extra paper clutter, random things that aren't supposed to be in here, so that needs a good clean out. But that's not even my main concern. My main concern are areas like this. I've got random bowls. I'm always digging through them. It's not functional, so we're gonna make this space a lot better. And I'm also going to completely reorganize this and declutter so much. I plan on doing a huge donate box because you just realize you don't need this much stuff. And the things you think you'll use, you don't. And then I also have this one over here. These big cabinets are almost the worst thing for me. I feel like I can organize smaller spaces better, but these ones have no systems in place. They just get cluttered, and then you're digging through things to find what you need, and that's just not practical and it doesn't save time. So this needs a good cleaning. Here's an example of a drawer that has worked as far as the systems go. I got these organizers, I think the beginning of last year. Most of them are from the Dollar Tree and they worked just fine. So I do, however, want to go through all of these utensils, pare down what I actually need because I know I could get rid of some stuff. Another cabinet that's going to be a huge transformation, I have a feeling, is my baking and spices. So all of our spices are on one of these containers. You can see like I have it labeled and it's a semi-good system, but it's just not working. We have way too many spices and I don't like the look of it either. Like it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. So I think I need to get another one of these, put it on the other side, spread them out, and I also ordered some spice jars on Amazon. That way they'll all look cohesive. And then I think I'm going to put some of this baking stuff in the pantry because this is the only food that I have out in the kitchen cabinets. The rest of it's in our pantry, and I feel like it really doesn't need to be out here. So I'm going to reconfigure that. Honestly, I don't even know what's in those cabinets up there. This one here is random cookbooks. So it's fine that there's cookbooks up there, but I don't need Play-Doh, that's for sure. So that's gonna get reorganized. And then as far as like cups go, I really just need to declutter. So I have cups in there, and then I also have cups, plates, and bowls in here, which this isn't too terrible, but again, I could go through, make it more functional, and get rid of some stuff. So that's what we're gonna do as far as the cabinets go. And then the last area that I think I'm going to for sure tackle is under the kitchen sink. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I need to go through some of the towels, cycle through them, and just reorganize some of this. It's, like I said, it's not terrible, and I've put some systems into place, but some just aren't working. And then, okay, I forgot to show over here. So I've got random kitchen items. Look, you guys, I can't even get through. Okay. This is hilarious. Obviously, it's time to do a declutter. This could probably go somewhere else because I can't even turn it. This is embarrassing. Oh. Okay, and there you go. Hot Mess Express in that one. So that's gonna get redone. We've got some random drawers that could be reorganized, pared down. Our flatware or silverware, good system, but hot mess. So we just have got to kind of declutter and get some better systems in place. So if you guys are ready to do this with me, then subscribe and let's get started. All right, let's start with the junk drawer. So whenever I am decluttering and organizing, I like to take everything out of this space, give it a good cleaning, and then I'll have a fresh plate and I'll be able to see where I really want things to go. So I find that getting some organizers like this one here really does help. They sell them at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Walmart, Target. A lot of places have them, and I know sometimes it can be an investment. They can be $5 and up, or sometimes you could even find better deals. But if you aren't wanting to spend a ton of money on organizing your kitchen, go to Dollar Tree. They've got tons of options there as well, and some of these bins are from the Dollar Tree that I'm using. So don't be intimidated by that. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a ton of organizers. Just clearing it out, decluttering, purging some items will make it feel so much lighter and cleaner. So now we're moving on to the cabinet where I keep all of our glass Tupperware and pitchers and bowls, things like that, and it just got too crammed in there. So like you see, I'm going to pull everything out. I'm going to wipe it down with this wood cleaner since it is technically wood in there, and then I'm going to see what I have. I'm going to make a donation pile, and I'm also going to throw away things that are either broken or damaged of any kind. So that's what I'm doing here, just shuffling through. This takes the longest, I feel like, trying to decide what you're going to keep, what you're not, but in the end it is so worth it. So I'm going to put the lids on these glass containers, and I actually like to use these in the fridge as well. So whenever I organize my fridge later on in this video, you will see those being put to use. But they are from Sam's and they lock in place. I think Target has some as well, but they also fit inside each other, so it saves space whenever you are putting them in the cabinets. So anyways, now I'm going to clean these copper bowls. Thus far, I've only used these for decorations. I use them in the fall with my fall stuff. So I'm going to put that with my hosting section, and I don't actually use them for daily baking or cooking or anything like that. So I'm going to keep the bowls that I actually use, the strainers, and then I'm going to hang my cutting boards on a hook on that door, and that is it. Only keeping the things that are necessities. Now I'm going to tackle this corner cabinet, and I feel like corner cabinets can be really tricky because they're deep, but they don't have a lot of easy access. A lot of times you have to reach over to get to things. So keeping this space very minimal is going to help me be able to see what I have, what I need to put in there. So I'm going to bring it all out, and there was so much stuff in this cabinet.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh.
Now that I've pulled everything out of the corner cabinet, I'm going to start on this other large cabinet that is over here. This one doesn't have a lot of shelves in it, and it's a deep one as well. So I figured those two, that one and the corner cabinet, will kind of go together. So I'm going to pull everything out and see what I'm going to keep, see what I'm going to throw away, and see what I'm going to donate, and start making piles. So what you want to do is pare down like items. So have all of your baking pans together, have all of your casserole dishes, your pie dishes, put all those together, and then make sure the lids are on everything. Make sure it's all spread out so you can see it. So I'm organizing this one here, my extra muffin pans and cupcake pans and bump pans. All of those I want to keep because I do use them, just not often. So I have all of those lined up nicely over there. Now I'm going to start on the corner cabinet. So I decided to make this my hosting little corner. So I'm gonna have all of my platters. I'm gonna have my little utensil holder where I can store paper plates and cups. Then I'm going to keep all of my tablecloths and cloths for the table, the napkins. I'm going to have all of that in one basket that I can grab. And then I also have one basket for random kitchen items that I don't want to store in a drawer, but I don't want to get rid of because I do use them, just not often. So I have one bin, and instead of having an entire cabinet full of stuff that I don't use that often, now I just have one bin. So I think it's a win. Now I'm going to wash these bowls, get the stickers off, and then I did get a new knife set recently. And so I'm going to throw away some of the old knives that are dull and have been used up, and I'm going to replace them with these black ones. So this drawer here is where I keep all of my measuring cups, my random kitchen stuff, my cookie scoopers, my serveware, stuff like that. I keep all of this in here, and all of these organizers are from the Dollar Tree, and they have held up for a year now, and I don't feel like they need replaced. They have served me well, so I'm going to keep them. I'm just going to simplify what is in this drawer.
Let me love you. Baby, let me love you. Let me love you.
All right, moving to the other side of the kitchen, I'm going to go through these two drawers next to the stove. One is another catch-all drawer. It's got extra flatware, random straws, my label maker, all kinds of stuff in here. So I'm just going to throw away what is not needed anymore, and I'm going to give new homes to the other things. So like these wooden scoopers, I'm going to put those in my brown sugar and chia seeds, stuff like that, whenever I put them in glass containers a little bit later. And then the candles, I'm actually going to put in my junk drawer. I'm going to put them in one of the organizers because I feel like that is a good place to have them. If I know I need a candle, I can just go right there. The next drawer is Taylor's coffee pods. So all of his K-cups I keep in here because he loves the Keurig. He loves straight coffee. I prefer Nespresso. So my Nespresso machine is on the other cabinet. I hate having to, but that's just us. That's what we prefer. So I'm not going to deprive him of his Keurig, and I don't want deprived of my Nespresso machine either. So we settled for both. I just have them spread out. So I wanted to get a little organizer to have all of his K-cups lined up nicely. And then I did put a little organizer in the back for my teas because every once in a while I like to drink tea at night. So that is what I did there. And then now I'm going to organize my pots and pans, and I don't feel like this one is too bad. I have my Caraway Home pots and pans that I love. These are the best. So they came with organizers already, so that made it really easy. And then I'm also going to go through my baking sheets that I keep under the stove. Don't come at me for keeping them under there. It's just what works for us. So I did have some that were kind of old and damaged, and they kind of were shoved in there. So getting rid of some really helped that space. Now I'm going to work on our silverware or flatware. I This organizer does work, but I needed something for Brooks's silverware. So I'm going to add a little organizer that will fit all of those perfectly, as well as his medicine cups, and then we're good to go. I don't have to shuffle around through them. I also went through the straws and seen if they fit to any of his cups, and if not, they went in the trash. Now I'm just going through my kitchen utensils. I like to keep them next to the stove and off of my countertops, so I keep them in this drawer here. I'm just going to wipe it out and then flip over the liner, and then I'm going to put one organizer on one side for my spatulas, and then I'm going to put my spoons on the other side. That way they are divided, but it's not taking up a ton of organizers. So that's what I did there. As far as wax paper, aluminum foil, baggies, all of that goes, I don't feel like you can really organize these too well. So I don't know. I just kept them pretty much how they were. I just got rid of the trash in there, the excess stuff, made sure that it closed nicely, and called it good. You can't win them all. They can't all look aesthetically pleasing. And if you have any tricks, let me know. But now moving on to the kitchen towels, and I feel like I have an abundance of kitchen towels. I never get rid of any, so I'm just gonna go through them and see if they are really stained or getting thin. Then I went ahead and threw them away. If not, I donated some just because I had too many, and then I put the ones that I'm gonna use back in the drawer. So now I'm gonna tackle my Lazy Susan, and as you've seen from the beginning of this video, this was the nightmare of the kitchen for sure. It wouldn't close, it wouldn't open hardly. There's just so much stuff piled in here. So I'm gonna go through, see what I can get rid of, what I can donate. I'm gonna wipe it out real good because I do keep my sugar and stuff in here. So I'm going to get all of the sugar and all of the little crumbs that are in there that accumulate over time. I'm going to get all of that out, and then I'm going to reconfigure. Once I got going, I decided to keep my sugar, flour, and tea bags out on the kitchen counter using these Ray Dunn canisters. These were on the floating shelves on the right side of my kitchen, and they didn't have anything in them, and I just thought, that's so silly. I could use them for what they actually say, and then I will have that out of my Lazy Susan. I use them all the time, so it just makes sense. So I put those flour, sugar, and tea in there, and then I had more room for my appliances. So I like to keep one small blender, a big blender, my food chopper, my immersion blender, and my coffee grinder. And I do have a handheld blender, and I know that seems like a lot, and I know it is, but every once in a while I need it, and I just like to have it. I'm really debating on parting with my hand mixer though, now that I have the KitchenAid stand mixer. So let me know if you have both or if you just have one. I don't know. I'm not a minimalist by any means, but I do like a space that I know what I have. It's all clear. I can find things easily. So I'm not hardcore on minimizing, but it does feel good if there's an excess of things. This cabinet here has all of our cups and mugs in it, so all of our Yeti cups. We drink out of these every single day. I love how cold it keeps my water, so I have an abundance of these. I'm going to go through and see which ones I don't love that I could donate and see if any of the lids are broken. I'm also going to take out all of the mugs and see which ones I'm going to keep, which ones I'm going to donate, and try to just make sense of it all. So after I did that, I wiped the cabinets out, and then I'm going to start putting them back in place. And I also reconfigured some of the shelves, so I just moved them up a little bit. That way it would fit the mugs better. So now I'm going to tackle the cabinets above the microwave, and these are really small, but they do add some extra storage, so I like to keep my cookbooks up here. And I have a couple of binders that my grandmas have made me with all kinds of recipes in them, so I'm going to keep one of them. I decided to move all the recipes into one one binder, and then I kept a few cookbooks as well. So really minimized what I had. I also donated a few cookbooks. I'm going to wipe it all out, get it nice and clean, and then put them back in. And then I also have a recipe box that I keep some recipes in, and Brooks's lunchbox. And that is all that I have up there, and it's so much better. Now I'm going to organize my spices. I got these spice jars from Amazon. I'll link them down below. They're just clear jars with good lids on top. They shut and open really easily, and I like the spout on them. So I will unwrap these, get them all washed up, and then I'll let them dry overnight. I just wanted them to be super dry before I put any spices in them. Alright, it's the next day now, and the spice jars are nice and dry, so I'm going to go ahead and put all of the spices in them. This was a tedious job. It took about 45 minutes, believe it or not, getting all of the spices in and labeled and all that jazz, but so worth it in the end. So I just put the spices in. I actually used a bigger funnel just because I felt like with some of the spices it was easier, and then I just put whatever label I needed on there. And then some of my spices I didn't have a label for, so I grabbed my label maker, printed it out, and put them on there. And I know they don't match up perfectly, but it is still functional and it works well. So that's what I did. This little label maker comes in handy. I love using my Cricut as well, especially the Cricut Joy, but for little tiny projects like this, the label maker works great. I totally lost the footage of me organizing this spice and baking section, but I've just got my cookie cutters in one, I've got my rubs, liquids, and then I'm going to put all of my spices down below. And I did grab another spice rack from TJ Maxx. I think it was like $3.99, super affordable, and this will just allow me to see what spices I have, and I can also spread them out now that I have two of them. So I'm going to organize all of my spices on these, and then as you can see, I've got some clear containers on the other shelves. One has all of our cookie cutters in them for all the holidays. Eventually I would like to get some smaller ones that I can separate the holidays with, but for now one big cookie cutter box is totally fine. And then I also have all of the sprinkles in one, and then the rest of the baking stuff. So all of the gel food coloring, all of the extracts, things of that sort. So I'm going to label these containers now. That way I know where everything is at. And I like that it's a little bit more minimal so I can really see what I have. Last but not least, I'm going to tackle under the kitchen sink, and this is always such a catch-all place, so I'm really going to be intentional about what I keep in here. I did get some organizers from Target, this one that has a 2-tier system and it has a slide-out drawer. I'm going to put all of my kitchen cleaning products in here, all of my sponges, and then I also got another one that has a larger drawer that I thought I would keep towels in, and then the kitchen cleaning products that I use daily, like my countertop sprays, my dish soap, things of that sort. And then I had one more container that I kept my gloves in. So now I'm going to clean out the refrigerator, and this is the last section of the video, but I do feel like your fridge is included in the kitchen, because if you open up a fridge that is overflowing with stuff, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So I got some clear containers containers to put our milk and juice in. I need to get one more for apple juice because Brooks does drink that every day. And then I got some for our coffee creamers as well. One for Taylor and one for mine. And that is all we need. So I feel like this will keep it cold, it'll be fresh, and it looks a little bit nicer as well. So I'm going to organize all of our condiments in here. These are kind of barbecue style, all of our ketchup, mustards, pickles, and then on the other side I'm going to put all of my Asian style condiments like teriyaki sauce, coconut aminos, yum yum sauce, all of that stuff. So I feel like that will be a good way to organize. Then I'm going to get some of these clear bins and put Brooks's drinks in them. I'm also going to organize our eggs in a container. I actually found this one at Aldi of all places, but sometimes Aldi has really nice clear containers as well. And then I'm going to reconfigure all of the shelves in the fridge. That way they will just better fit everything. So I've got my juice and milk up there. I also have a can organizer for Taylor's sodas, our protein shakes, Gatorades. It's just nicer having them in a drawer that you can slide in and out. I don't know what it is about grouping things, but it just makes it feel less overwhelming when you open the fridge. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get everything to fit perfectly. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to make everything work and fit. You just got to get in there, try it out, and see what you can do with it. So now I'm going to tackle the drawers, and these I'm going to just do the best that I can. I'm going to wipe them all out and then decide what I'm going to put back in. And this was a good time to get rid of old food, see what I have. Now when I make my grocery list, I really know what I already have to use, so it was great. But I'm going to put my dairy in one drawer, my baked goods in another drawer, and then cheeses and meats or proteins down in the last one. And then I'm going to store all of my fruit in some of those glass containers that I showed earlier. So first I'm going to clean my strawberries with some Fit cleanser. They have it in the produce section where you can clean your fruits and veggies with it, and I feel like this does make them last longer. So I just wipe them off and then put them in the little glass containers, and I'm doing the same with the grapes. And then I'll just put those in a big container. Then whenever we want grapes, we can grab them and go. Okay, now I'm going to store them on the shelf above all of the drawers. And then I also got a little holder for my onion, and I put some carrots in one of those jars as well. And then I did end up putting my zucchini in a little one behind them. So that works for us. And then in the back of the home edit book, they actually have some stickers. So I used these to organize what goes where in the fridge. So the cheese, protein, all of that good stuff, it's all nice and labeled now. That way, if Taylor's putting stuff away, he knows where to put it as well. And I'm going to clean off the countertops now, just give everything a nice wipe down. I'm going to clean down my appliances, wipe out my microwave, all that good stuff. And then before I go to bed, I'm going to paint my pantry door, and I've wanted to do this for a while now. I'm using the Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Putty. It's a beautiful kind of taupey gray color, and I just love it. So I thought with our kitchen being so white, it might be a good contrast to have our door a different color. So I did 2 coats and then went to bed, and then I'll show you what it looked like the next day. Alright, it's the next day now and I cannot wait to show you my reorganized kitchen. So let's start with the fridge. Here's what it looks like. We have all of our drinks nice and organized, Brooks's snacks, eggs, our fruits and veggies, dairy, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to tackle the freezer next, but I didn't include it in this video. My battery died and it just wasn't gonna happen. So anyways, that will be coming soon, but I just feel like it's so much more functional. It's more simplified. It just makes us know where everything is at and it feels so good. Next up is the spice cabinet, and oh my goodness, what a transformation, you guys. This one was such a hot mess. If you don't remember, go back to the beginning of the video. You can see the before and afters, but I love the spice jars. They really do make it so much more minimalized, and I can see where everything is at. That's why I love using the clear containers. The next drawer, I stored all of our spoon holders. I have extra flatware in the back, and then all of my straws and my little straw cleaner. The next one, I have Taylor's K-cups and my teas in, all organized. Now he can see, and I know whenever he's running low. We have all of our pots and pans and pot holders stored in here. I keep my lids on a little organizer on top and then one on the side, and then I love keeping a hook where I can have a pot holder handy on the door as well. Above the microwave, I have all of my recipe books and Brooks's lunchbox. Underneath the stove, I have all of our baking sheets, and then this cabinet here, I have Brooks's bowls, all of our mason jar cups, I've got our bowls, and I just really simplified this space. And a lot of his cups were in the dishwasher as well, so his to-go cups will get filled up pretty soon. Here are the flour, tea, and sugar canisters, and I just kept some measuring cups in there for easy access as well. Those are going to be so handy having them on the counters. And then this corner cabinet, I have all of our nicer dishware, and I find that we are using it a lot more instead of paper plates now that they are all nice and organized. And then I did label some shelves. Here's our medicine cabinet. I just did a clean sweep of that and seen what was still good, what wasn't. Here's our flatware drawer, just nice and organized, and we know where everything is at. Here's all of my kitchen utensils, so much easier to find things. I'm not having to shuffle around. Here's all of our kitchen towels, and then our baggies and storage stuff. So that's all nice and tucked away. In the Lazy Susan, I have a container for all of my KitchenAid accessories, a little bin for kids with like cookie cutters, or not cookie cutters, but like sandwich cutters, popsicle holders, and then I have one coffee bin as well with filters in it. So it just is all nice and organized and I can find things. And then the bottom has all of my small kitchen appliances. And here is under the kitchen sink. It is now all organized. I can see where everything is at. I also love adding hooks to the inside of doors just to store extra things, so that might be a good option as well. And then this little organizer was from the Dollar Tree. It's just nice to have. So I'm also probably going to put some paper towels in here if I can fit them, just so I don't have to go to the laundry room to grab them. But overall, I'm loving this. And then last but not least is our cabinet with all of our mugs and Yeti cups, and now I can see them. They're all nice and organized, and it just feels so good. Now let's go to the other side of the kitchen and take a look into these cabinets and drawers. So first up is the junk drawer. I've got it all organized in here. I've got some tools, tape, pens, scissors, label maker, magnets, stamps, all that good stuff. The next one I have are cutting boards in here. These mats came in my FabFitFun box and they have been great. I also have the mixing bowls that I actually use and all of our food storage containers with the lids on them, which is so nice. And then this corner cabinet, I have all of my hosting things, so extra bowls, I've got pictures, my linens, a little grab and go container that I have all of our paper plates in. I've got my extra tote with random kitchen stuff and platters. And then in this drawer, I have all of my other kitchen utensils like cookie cutters, my mixers, measuring spoons, serveware, and knives. Below that, I keep all of my bakeware, so my casserole dishes with the lids on them, my bread pans, pie pans, a Rae Dunn casserole dish that I love using. I also have my to-go container that I can put my casserole dishes in, as well as donut pan, muffin pan, cake pans, and bump pans. All those good things nicely tucked away. And here's a look at the pantry door. I am loving the new color. It's so crazy how changing the color of a one little door will make such a big statement in a kitchen. So I feel like it ties with our countertops well. It adds some warmth and some depth to the kitchen. I'm just loving it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this organizational video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for lots more organizing and decluttering. Bye, guys.